Go at breakfast. I bought Steve a cookie the other day, or today, and I gave it to him, so he's eating it. Hello and welcome. We're live. Our dentist, Steve, got a really bad filling corrected today. But our dentist, this is really weird, gives out cookies, like really good cookies. But they're not gluten-free, so Steve can never have the cookies that they give out. But I can, and they're really yummy. But Steve went to the dentist, and I drove him because he was having a thing. And I didn't want him to have to take the bus with a swollen face. So I drove him and then picked him up afterwards, and I bought him a gluten-free cookie because he went to the dentist, and he's eating it now.
It's a good cookie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Steve has celiacs. So, yeah. It's one of the reasons Germany and Essen is a little bit more expensive for us food-wise because of eating gluten-free.
But not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Everything is
at all.
very well labeled there.
It's getting easier. Every year it's getting easier, just like here. Every year it's getting easier. So, yeah. Anyway, something that isn't gluten-free, but it would be the Gingerbread House game that we're going to be playing. By Phil Rucker Harding, published by Lookout Games. This is a tile placement game coming from Lookout Games, probably later this year, maybe next year. It's tough to say with Lookout. But Gingerbread is not gluten-free, but this game is gluten-free, so you can play it.
I just shouldn't eat it.
Well,
Oh, well.
You could eat it, because there's no gluten in it, but I wouldn't recommend it, for other reasons. So yeah.
I just want to make an entire park full of bears, and I'm not sure why.
We're not going to talk about that yet. So yeah, so we're going to play Gingerbread House. So we've played this once before, and we're playing it again, and the game comes with an insert. It's a beautiful insert. So we're going to show and do setup. Steve is no longer Stevie. This is like an overview card for the bonus cards, because there's bonus cards, but each player is going to get a player board, which shows our houses, and you want to orient it correctly.
Are they all the same? No.
No, they are not, and they're actually double-sided, so there's even more variance. So, there's also a score pad, which we don't need yet. And then look at this insert! And we store games vertically, so this is, like, doing really good. It was there. We had punch. The punch boards are under it, so there's that. But, you're gonna have staircases and wild tiles, and then there's, cards, which are the fairy tale characters, and then there's, like, these domino tiles, which are in this tray, which actually annoys me because it's like a little too big, and so they fall, and then when they fall they get put the wrong direction, and then they're like yeah, anyway, first world tile placement problems. So just kind of shuffling these a little bit. We'll just randomly pull from them. And then you have little gingerbread like cookies in the center, which are the tokens. So we're actually going to play out of the box. But we each get a certain number of tiles. How many tiles do we get? Yep. Yep. 15.
Whoa.
So just pull out 15 to be your own personal supply. That's 8. And then give them a good shuffle.
Don't they say we're not supposed to build high with our own supply?
12. I have no idea what kind of drug joke you were trying to make there. So we each have our own stack. You're gonna shuffle it, and then you're gonna put it someplace convenient to be your draw pile. And the game's gonna last 15 rounds, because every round we're gonna place one of these. So we're gonna start by taking 3 of them and putting them
I'm like so close to an epic sneeze, and it's just not happening.
Oh, it's the worst.
I know.
You're gonna put them next to your player boards that everybody can see them, and they're there.
They're there.
Then, if you could make a wild tile stock, and then a staircase stock.
I don't know.
The bonus cards. So there's an intro game, and then there's an advanced game. If you're watching this stream, you can probably get away with the advanced game. So there's these bonus cards that have witch hats on the back and numbers. In the intro game, you're only going to use a certain number of these, and you're only going to use them for the points on the back. It says so in the rules which ones you're going to do. For a advanced game, or just like a normal person game, you're going to shuffle them, and you're going to, for 2 players, you're going to draw 6 of them, and you're going to put them face up someplace where everybody can see them, like a little market. And you'll put out more for different player counts. I was going to put the bonus tiles there, or the fairy tale features, actually. We don't need all the staircases, or all the wild tiles, because we're actually restricted, so don't go too crazy. We actually technically only need max 8 of those. But yeah. So there's 6 bonus tiles. I'll put them face up here in a second when I'm ready to teach them. And then you have a deck of fairy tale creatures. They have a cage on the back of the card, and then the front of the card is fairy tale creatures. So this is the double. And so you're going to take that deck, you're going to shuffle it, and then you're going to make a market of fairy tale creatures. That is, I'm actually going to rotate that, and move that. And you're going to make a market of, what did I say, 4? Yeah, 4 of these guys. Oops. Is the whole deck upside down? It is. Okay. And then the bonus cards you're going to put someplace where everybody can see them, and we're just going to put them between us. I'm just going to scoot Steve over so we have some room. Okay. Whoop. So, let's set up. Each player is going to get a single staircase. When you have bits, they're going to go on that side of the board. I'm going to move Steve's stuff over. Yeah. Then we're going to determine a starting witch. I'll be starting player because Steve was starting player last time, and he's walking around. And so the starting player gets to select a...
Wait, the starting witch?
Starting witch, yes.
Oh, the starting witch.
The starting witch gets to select a character that they're gonna like lure to their house first.
It's the basilisk. Oh, it's so cute.
He's pretty happy. So I'm gonna teach the game, and then
look at the basilisk. It's adorable.
How long is this? Wait. The box says that this is. What the box say?
Probably a
30 minutes.
To 30.
Yeah, it's really quick. Okay. So, really easy. On your turn, you're either going to place one of your face-up tiles somewhere on your player board, or you're going to take 2 staircases from the supply. If you place one of the tiles from your options to the player board, you also have the ability to capture one of the fairy tale creatures that you've either lured to in front of your house or that's just like up in the market. So, what you're gonna do is we'll start with placing a tile. When you place a tile, it has to go fully in your house. It can't be like outside of your house. And so you'll notice it's a 3x3, which means there's 9, and then these are double-sided tiles, so you're always gonna have one space that's a little off. When you place a tile, you gain what you cover up. So, if I replace the tile like this, I would gain a blue and a heart gingerbread token, and I would put them in my supply of things I have. Okay? In future rounds, and then I would draw to refill. if I had the gingerbread cookies here to capture a character, I would be able to capture the character, which I do in this situation. I could capture Tom Thumb, who wants he really likes heart gingerbread and blue gingerbread, and so I could discard my heart and my blue gingerbread to tick Tom Thumb, and I put him down here in my permanently captured area, so he's going to score me 2 points at the end of the game.
Don't discard your heart. That sounds
which is depicted
painful.
Right there in the bottom corner. It's not going to focus right now, but the little witch hat. Little witch hats are points. So that's it. When you place a tile, like I said, you gain for what you cover, and then after you gain what you've covered, you have the option of capturing either from this area or in front of you. And I'll talk about how they get in front of you in a second. It's optional though, you don't have to. You can store up your gingerbread for more advanced dice. And then after you capture people, if you finished a level of your house, you gain a bonus as well. Also, when you capture somebody, when you fully secure them, you gain a wild token, which is the square. It's a single-sized square, and you get to place it on your board immediately. You don't hold on to it. So you can place anywhere, so I could be like, oh, I'm going to place here, which would be silly. And maybe I place here, and then I get green gingerbread, right? So that's capturing. When you complete a level, you gain a bonus card from the optional supplies, and you can gain max 3 bonus cards. So there's only 6 available, so probably all 6 of these are going to be picked. But the different bonus cards will give you in-game points or different abilities during the game, depending on what they are. So for example, the cauldron will give me 2 additional points per human character. And on the character cards, up here in the corner, there's a little picture of like an elfish human person or a monster or a dragon. And so it's either a human, if it looks like a picture of a human, or it's a monster if it has a picture of a dragon. Then the characters can also be good-natured or mean. And there's just a little gingerbread happy face or sad face. That's it. So, that is that. So bonus cards will give you bonus points based on that. So this one would give me 2 additional points per human. This one is, at the end of the game, copy the effect of another player's bonus card, but it's minus 3 points, so that's pretty good. This one is a cauldron that gives you 2 points per non-human character. It's a good combo. This is the chimney. You get 9 points for at least 8 levels, incomplete or complete, of your house. That's crazy. Then this is a baking oven. For each matching symbol on the tiles in your house, you get a heart, then flip the card. So basically, you gain this, and then when you want to use it, you would gain 1 heart for every heart gingerbread on, like, visible top-down on your house. And then you flip it, and it's only worth 2 points at the end of the game. Then the raven, per leftover gingerbread token, score an additional 1 point. So that's pretty cool. You can have max 10 gingerbread tokens in your supply. And so, yeah, that is the game. The game ends once we've placed all of our tiles, and you'll always only ever place 1 tile at a time. So the game's going to be maybe a little over 15 rounds if we take staircases. And what are staircases? Well, staircases allow you to compensate for uneven levels. So if it were my turn again, it's a future turn, and I want to put a tile like here. I can't because they're at 2 different heights, which is hard to see on the camera. But I can use a staircase to level this section. So now I can legally place that there. And the staircase doesn't cover the spot, so there's a little hole in it so you can still see what you're getting. So I would get a yellow gingerbread and a green gingerbread when I played that over. So that's what staircases are for. You can have max 4 staircases in your supply. And the only way to get additional staircases is to cover a staircase spot on your board. By covering that, you would gain a staircase tile. Or, instead of playing a tile altogether, you can pass for playing a tile, and instead draw 2 staircase tiles. So, we each start the game with 1 staircase tile. That's that. The other interesting or unique icons on this board is there's a swap one. It's the double arrow. When you cover a double arrow, you can swap one of the gingerbreads you have in your supply with something else from the general supply. And then there's a little cage. So when you cover up the cage, you can reserve one of the fairy tale characters that is out, so that only you can capture them. So if I see Steve amassing a bunch of yellow to get the basilisk, I can instead cover up that spot to claim him, and now Steve can't ever claim him. Alternatively, if there's somebody out here that you don't like, and you cover the cage icon, so you get to lure somebody to your house. If you don't like them, you can draw 3 off the top of the deck, pick one, and then discard the other 2 face down under the deck. And that is the game. At the end of the game, the player who has the most points wins, and you gain points by bonus cards for creatures that you've actually captured, and then your gingerbread. Every 2 gingerbread tokens is worth 1 point. So, yeah. That's it. That's the game. You ready?
Yeah.
It's very easy. Just checking up on
Well, it's easy. I wouldn't call it super easy, but I don't want to split a hair.
There, Kabuki made that joke.
I know. Sorry, that's one of my favorite bug friends.
Nutters!
The bitch.
Alright.
There's bobby pins flying everywhere. Best switch ever.
Best switch ever. I'm actually gonna do my example turn. So I'll get pink and blue, and then I'm actually just gonna play in Tom Thumb. And that's my whole turn. And then I draw to replace, so I always have 3 tiles here to available.
Look at this.
Wow, we got a lot of like high-powered stuff out. Steve, it's your turn.
Whatever shall I do? Well, let's do this for now. Let's do the cage and cover up a baloo. Speaking of blue, do you ever just want to watch all of this one? Can we only have 2?
Yep. You can.
In jail.
Yeah,
Cage
thank you.
jail?
You can only have it's lured.
Lured.
So the idea is
Instant
basically
replace?
yeah. The idea is basically we love making gingerbread, but these fairy tale creatures just keep coming around and eating our house. Like, we love gingerbread and we made our house out of gingerbread and we just really like it. Think it's really great, but these jerks keep coming and eating our house, like literally eating our house, and so we've decided to lure them to the house by putting gingerbread on it that we know they like, and then once they get here, we trap them. Doesn't say what we do with them, we just trap them. They're ours now.
Probably tasty.
I mean, I'm not saying anything.
The 7 dwarves, it's like a 7-course meal.
There's another thing I forgot to mention. When you place a tile such that you cover up 2 identical gingerbread symbols, you gain an additional gingerbread token. And it does not work if you're covering up a wild and another tile. Like, the art has to be identical. On that delightful note, I'm going to place a there. So I get another staircase and a heart. And I can't claim anyone, and it's fine. So I'll replace the now it's Steve's turn.
I will place...
Hey, people overboard!
I will place this. Sorry, I will cover up a green and a heart.
The cardstock for the tiles is very thick and nice. It's like the King Domino thickness, but it's not the same size as King Domino. It's a little smaller. And they're matte finish, not gloss. If that matters to people. I'm going to place this one here. So I get to lure somebody to my front gate, and I get a green gingerbread. So I'm gonna get a green gingerbread, and I think I'm gonna lure... I'm gonna lure, Rubizol. Yeah. And then it's Steve's turn.
I didn't pick this. I'm gonna cover a sun and a swap. I'm gonna swap a green for a blue and get a sun.
Okay. I'm going to place this one here, and I'm gonna do a swap and a green. So I get a green, and then I'm gonna swap that green for a sun or a yellow. Ah! Also, I don't know if you can see how cute the little gingerbread tiles are. Petticoats. And then I refill.
I
did that. No, wait a minute.
It's fine. It's just cheating.
It's just cheating. It's just cheating.
I'm gonna cover up 2 blues, which gets me 3 blues.
You can also. There's another rule. Just keep adding rules.
What?
You cannot place a tile over other tiles such that it's only covering one tile. So you always have to make it so that you're going over 2 tiles.
It's inside, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
You did it fine.
Oh, but you can't just do that?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be cheaty.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to place a staircase here in the center. And then...
Whoa, that looks so cool!
Yeah, it does! I got a cool house. And then I'm gonna place...
Oh.
This one... Oh, did I mess up the focus? Focus? Just gotta put a face. There we go.
Thanks, Final Rabbit.
I'm gonna cover this one here. So I covered 2 yellows, which means I get 2 yellows. And because it was identical art, I get a 3rd yellow. So I now have 4 yellows.
Are there supposed to be 3 out or 4 out?
They're supposed to be 4. Hey, it's the Shrek characters. But I finished a level, which means I get a bonus card.
What?
I think... I think I'm going to take the 2 points per every non-human character card.
Right.
And then I get to do that. Also, I screwed up. When I took Tom Thumb on the very first turn, I should have gotten a wild tile. How do we feel about this?
Do you always get a wild tile when you capture something?
You always do. So we're retconning. It's cheating. Everything's invalid. We're going to get comments on YouTube about how awful we are. Don't care.
Yeah. I'm placing a staircase so that I can place...
I wonder who you're going for. Look, you
place
already got
that.
the crown of Amara. Why do you gotta kill that king? Maybe that's you. Maybe that's you from Amara.
So I'm getting 3 from that used in the staircase.
You're just like breaking the chewy up. You're not even sure.
I have an important question.
You can have max 10.
So I've... Oh no, this is 10.
Yeah, but you have enough to get the 7 dwarfs out.
But when does the limit apply? Is it instant or is it end of the turn? It's probably
instant, but you can swap.
Or am I going to get the king instead? I think I'm actually just going to straight up get the king. Right? Because I can just capture him out of here.
Yeah.
And then it is no longer my turn. Oh, but I get a wild tile. Wild tile.
The game is over when both players place all their tiles.
Whoa, the vampire. Return a character you trapped earlier.
Oh,
so
it's negative, but he's worth 5 points. Basically,
it's not negative.
Yeah, because you lose the points of that character.
Oh well, yeah, but like you could trade up Tom Thumb, for example.
I mean, but Tom Thumb's still worth 2 points. I'm not limited on how many dudes I can capture.
Yeah, I just mean it would get you a net of 3 points to beat the vampire.
No, but that's not good. Like.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
But why is that? It's like a free 3 points, right?
No, it's not. It would be better for me... Oh, because you don't have to spend any gingerbread on him.
Also, it lets you turn a human into a monster in case you want to do
weird things.
You have a thing for a non-human character, so it would get you 5 points to get the vampire.
Is this you trying to teach me strategy? What do we think about that? I covered 2 yellows.
No, I'm just saying that hypothetically.
Hypothetically, if you were good at tile placement games, Steve wins at all tile placements. So now I have enough that I can get the basilisk. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 suns to get the basilisk. Which gets me a wild tile. Look, Mom, I remembered. You didn't get your bonus card for, you haven't completed your level. And I'm going to use the wild tile to cover up this blue. See in a bit?
The chimney is pretty great.
It's not a chimney, it's a staircase. Oh, yes, that card is pretty good. Yeah.
I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a green. Get a green in the staircase.
Oh, I need to read this.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to teach you strategy. I was just saying that.
You're fine, baby. What's not fine is my options. I'm gonna place this one here.
How many wilds can you place between?
As many creatures as you captured, but
No, I mean,
you have to place it when you captured. I'm gonna place that there, which gives me a wild and a green. So I'm gonna do a green and a blue. It's Steve's turn.
I will do it there, which gets me a sun, because that was there.
Kabuki watches so many people. You all are listing people I don't even know exist. That's crazy. There's so many channels now. When I started, there was I was literally I was the first female reviewer. It's crazy. Or no, there was, the 2 Canadians that worked at Star Citadel. Yeah. We have played, this is our second play, and we've only played 2 player. You done?
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, board games with Scott.
Board games with Scott.
I like Scott.
Well, let me do that. And if it's a wild, you don't get the bonus? Yeah,
Correct.
Oh well.
I've had a problem with this game, which is whenever I type it, I type Gingerbread house.
And then get sun.
That Griffin, man. Oh, you completed a level. You get a bonus tile.
Oh.
Steve's sick, so.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, well, I haven't taken one since you did that, so. Select a bonus tile. Mr. Sicky. Oh, because your Sudafed's wearing off. Oh, yeah, your Sudafed and Mucinex wore off like an hour ago.
That would explain why the inside of my head has felt terrible for the last hour. So.
Yeah. On that delightful note.
I want the chimney because it's so...
The chimney, man. The chimney. Okay. I am going to... help me. This is rough. Rough. I'm gonna do this double yellow to get 3 yellows. In this game, supplies are limited. Fun fact. So if we run out of a certain type of gingerbread, you're SO. Which is interesting. Now, I could get the Bremen Town musicians. And I could get Cinderella. I couldn't get the Griffin, though. Could take the vampire and do the Tom Thumb upgrade, but I have a plan for that, so... Did you drop them? I really want to get him. It's going to take me a while, so... I'm not going to capture anybody. Yeah, I'm not going to capture anybody.
I'm glad we played this game second.
Yeah. It's your turn, dude.
Tiffany, you finally figured out the winning strategy for tile placement games.
Get Steve sick. I love making gingerbread houses. We have a gingerbread house kit. You probably didn't see it when you came and visited us, Nutters. It's in the kitchen, and we moved with it from California. It's very old. And every once in a while I look at it and I'm like, oh, I could make a gingerbread house. But I haven't. Ace is really going on that chewy.
Gotta cover that up. Gotta cover the sun and the green. Let's get the sun and the green. And then... Six. No, I guess it drops them out.
Okay. Evil Queen. Okay. I will cover... I'm going to staircase that spot so that I can do that. So I get a blue and a wild, so I'm going to get...
Oh, do I get a wild?
For capturing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. And I'm going to capture...
You just captured Cinderella.
No, or...
Oh, you're luring. You're not capturing.
Sorry.
Oh, wizard. Alright.
I should have done the look at 3.
It's too late.
You're too late.
I get a blue, and then I get a wild of my choice. And the wild can be anything. So I could get a staircase, I could lure... Take the blue. I think running out of yellows. I guess I'll do...
These are pretty...
Yeah, this game is very yellow. Blue heavy. I guess I'll take a yellow because we're so yellow heavy. But then I will turn in the blue and the yellow to capture Repulse. Don't know how to pronounce that. So I get a wild token. I just realized I don't want it, but it's fine. And I will use it to swap this heart for a yellow because we're so yellow heavy. And that is my turn.
I could do this. I cover up a staircase and a capture. So I get a staircase and then go. Oh, but I already have 2. Can I lure another if I already have 2 up top?
No.
Can I kick one out?
Yes. You can kick one out.
Alright, I'm actually gonna take the evil queen out. Would she go to the bottom of the deck?
Yeah, she's gone.
Exclusive. Who knows if that's what actually happens.
Okay, I'm gonna place this one here. So I did double green. So I get 3 green. Literally no one cares about green, but I got it. And I completed a level, so I get another bonus. And the bonus I get is gonna be the other cauldron. So I get 2 bonus points for everything I capture.
Can you only ever do 1 staircase at a time? Or can you like go to crazy town?
No, you can only do 1 at a time.
Can you drop 2 staircases down, or do you have to?
I think, yeah, you can do that. You just can't stack them on top of each other. Do I want to capture that vampire? Do I swap him? He's the promo, isn't he? I don't think there's an FAQ for the vampire. It's a net gain of 3 points for me. I'll do it. I'm gonna capture the vampire, which gets me a wild token, which I'll use here to get me a staircase. And now it's your turn. How do you have more tiles played than me? We've done it again.
Huh?
You look at your deck. Did you start with 15?
Yeah.
Okay. How did I start the game and still have less tiles than you?
I don't know.
Cheat and Steve.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, but I think you played 2 turns in a row, Mr. Sick Boy.
Would you like to go?
Did you finish your turn?
No, I didn't take one. I'm wondering if you want an extra turn.
I mean, I'll go again, yeah. Maybe I started with too many tiles. Maybe I started with 16. Maybe that's the problem.
I don't know, you have an awful lot on there.
You do too. Four. Oh, I can't even count because of the things. Whatever. If you win, your victory is hollow.
We'll do a recount of the tiles at the end. There's the thing I was gonna do. What was I gonna do? I'm gonna get a green and a staircase.
Ah, it's Peter Pan! Love me some Peter Pan.
And then I'm gonna use 3 green to get Pinocchio. And then Pinocchio gets wild.
I set up to do a thing and then I realized that's not going to work and it doesn't matter anyway, so but it could matter. That's fine. I'm gonna do that to complete another level. I get a yellow and a pink. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Raven. And then poor Steve. I'm gonna go ahead and capture. I should hold out. I'm gonna hold out. I can do better. I can capture better.
In my turn.
It is.
I do a staircase on this wild, and then I cover it 2 wilds, and I get 2 blues.
Okay. You've even more less tiles than me. What has happened? How? Okay. We had 1 tile difference in our deck, and now we have 2 tile differences in our deck size. What has happened? Oh my goodness. Cheat and Steve strikes again. I am going to place...
I look forward to reading the comments on YouTube to figure out which turns I took to...
Yeah. Aren't we all? I'm gonna place there to get a yellow and a wild. So 5 yellows. Now I need 6. I will do my wild as a yellow so that I can claim the wizard. The wizard. So I get a wild tile. And I will place the wild tile here. So I get another staircase. And now it's your turn, Mr. Cheat and Steve. Can you make a request to bring this game to San Francisco in December? Yeah, maybe. We'll chat.
I'm figuring out what I want to do with my 2 tile placements.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is not super intense.
Guess I cover up a green. Oh, let's cover a green. Oh no, I can't do that, can I?
No, you cannot. Nope. And you can't do that either. Yeah, you gotta use your staircase and go across the board. I recommend doing it to get more staircases.
We'll do a green in a staircase.
Ah, I love herbaceous. Love.
Your turn.
You do it. Oh, I was thinking, for my review recording, for the week, I could do patchwork while I'm cutting the fabric for the girls' quilts. Later this week. Or next week. Okay. I'm going to place this way to get 3 hearts. My hearts. So many useless gingerbread tokens. That's my whole turn. Steve's turn.
Alright, I'll cover a blue in the cage. I get a blue. Drop down the Frog King.
Okay.
It's the Frog King Best card.
I'm gonna do that to cover a wild and a cage. And I'm gonna resolve the cage first. Draw 3. Keep 1. Ooh. So awful. I'm gonna be luring Little Red Riding Hood to my cage house situation. And then I get a tile, a gingerbread tile. I will take a yellow. And then I'm going to capture the little red writing thing. So I get a wild tile. And I'll put it right there.
I'm gonna cover that blue with a staircase. And then I'll go here, cover a heart. Cover a blue. I think I made some mistakes, but I will capture the 7 dwarves. And that gives me a wild tile.
Should we get to 8?
Or actually, if I go there,
that's the smarter move. Yeah, let's get a staircase.
Well, but it doesn't matter because I'm only placing one more tile.
That's true.
Oh, but oof.
It would cover.
Then I just have to put it there.
Okay, you gonna take a staircase?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cover 2 wilds to get 2 yellows. And I hope I'll get enough yellows to do something interesting, which I should be able to do. And I will not capture Sam I Am or anyone else to do.
Okay, I'm gonna cover up the green. What?
We gotta go over the wild.
And oh, but it's a wild, so I do get the sun. And then capture the Frog King, which gets me a wild tile. I actually need to spend those. And if I cover a cage, I get to see if I strike out. What? Okay, I totally strike out.
Damn. Okay.
Cheat and Steve. I'm pretty sure I've cheated so many times.
You did, yeah. You're pretty cheaty. Normally tonight you're just like extra cheaty.
This happens when the drugs were off.
I'll go here to get a green and blue.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5. My chimney is 9.
10. I have to discard something. Just gonna hurt. Then Steve's out of tiles place, so he doesn't actually get a turn. And then I get a turn again. I'll do a staircase there. To get 3 yellows, but I can't actually take 3 yellows, so I'll swap the 1 to get the 1 yellow that I need to turn those all in to capture the griffin.
I think you got it.
And then that is my turn. Wow, you have built like a very listing tower. I'm gonna take a picture of that for Twitter.
Hey, mine's a fairy tale tower. Yours is just
sturdy.
Yours is
stable,
code.
Reliable.
Yours isn't even a fairy tale code. It's too structurally stable.
Yeah, it's just livable. Just because it's gingerbread doesn't mean that it needs to be structurally unsound. Okay, so now we score points. So you score points for each fairy tale character you've captured, plus any bonuses, and then you score 1 point for every 2 gingerbread you have. So, there you go.
$37.
Yeah, I'm still counting. 16, 24, 22, 27, 30, 40, 45 with that, and then 47, 49, 51, 53, 55, 57, 59, 61, 63, 65, 67, 69.
Nice.
But I get another 2 points, so I'm at 71.
Not quite double my score.
There's a score pad to help with scoring, but we didn't need to use it.
There would be a really cool Venn diagram we could make of games we got at SN, which is games that included a score pad, games that need a score pad.
Yes. Ugh. What was your score again?
37.
37? Yeah. I thought you hit 40 at least.
10, 20, 36, 37.
Okay. Alright. And that's Gingerbread House! It's
Wait,
okay.
What happened to Tom Thumb?
Oh, I vampired him.
Oh my god!
It was an extra 3 points. Look, man.
Poor Tom. There isn't even a lot of blood in him.
No.
How much blood is in Tom Thumb? It's not much.
Not even a thimble's worth. Okay. Yeah, so...
Hey, I just want to point out, I have the best frickin' fairy tale right here. I've got the Frog King, and the King, and the 7 Dwarfs, and Cinderella, and Pinocchio, and a crazy frickin' chimney, and the woodcutter is locked up outside. Like, come on.
He's not locked outside. He's currently trying to eat the side of your house. You've, lured him there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got a wizard, Little Red Riding Hood, Rubzal, who I don't know who that is, a vampire, a basilisk, and a griffin.
Yours is like... I was gonna say an adventuring party, but I think it's just all the...
They're just hardcore.
No, I think it's just everything the adventuring party fights.
Little Red Riding Hood?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cutthroat.
Don't turn your back on Little Red Riding Hood.
It's true.
She'll cut you.
So, one thing that you probably couldn't see, because thanks, is the art's super cute. There's every fairy tale creature you probably know and like, and character. It's a big old deck. There's Puss in Boots. There's some Shrek references. There's lots of that kind of stuff. Ooh, I want to figure out how you cheated. So, hang on. Let me see how many of these tiles I have.
I mean, I have exactly 15 tiles. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used 6 staircases. And 5 wild tiles. What?
I cheated.
You cheated? How many tiles did you have?
17.
17 tiles? I think we figured out how you were 2 turns ahead.
No, I was 2 turns behind.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so my victory is hollow. But I still would have beat your butt even without those last 2 tiles.
Yeah, you got
because all those last 2 tiles got
cards.
me was 8 points. So, yeah. That's Gingerbread House. That's okay.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. All right. It's very quick. It's very zippy. Let's see. We taught, set up, and played in an hour with chatting and 6 Steve. So yeah. It's okay. I don't really like it. I'll tell you why. Because the game is super dependent on what tiles you get.
Mm-hmm.
And normally those kind of games don't super bug me, but this one it does, because in this situation, there were so many yellow and blue cards that came out. If you didn't have tiles that had yellow and blue, which mine dried up, and I didn't know it was gonna dry, but mine dried up at the end of the game. Steve didn't really have yellow and blue, right? On his tiles.
I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, mine are roughly even, but I don't know. It felt like I had a lot of the specials. Maybe that's just the distribution.
Yeah. we'll go back to this camera. So it's like there's things that I did not have that many of the specials, but I had way more yellow, which worked out, like way more yellow than Steve did, which worked really well for this, and it reflects, I think, in the characters that I managed to get. But I didn't have quite as many specials, and if you notice, I only had one reserve. So I could only capture 2 characters, like, capture. But
and
you
then
can...
I could capture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, but you can mitigate that with the wild tiles, because the wild tile can be anything. It could be a lore versus a gingerbread tile. Like, that's fine. I mentioned that a couple times. It could be any symbol.
It could be a swap or whatever?
It can be any symbol.
I would have used mine. I think the swaps. But
so...
It would have made a big difference.
The distribution is such that, like, every game you have to mitigate, like, the randomness of the tiles that you get with the randomness of the characters that come out, and your only mitigation possible is the wild tiles, which depend on you capturing characters. It's the only way to get those.
I also didn't realize, and I probably screwed this up the first time I played, I didn't realize there was a restriction where you can't place a tile directly on another tile, and so that makes placement really restrictive, because you're trying to get certain symbols, but your placements are pretty restricted, so you don't have a lot you can do on your turn. Like, if you have 2 or 3 of the same tile, like, if a bunch of your tiles are similar,
yeah,
like, it just felt like a lot of my turns, I didn't have a huge amount of flexibility.
Yeah.
Which is it's partly what I was doing, but also partly my tiles. Whereas, like, I'd look out, and I was like, oh, there's something that needs 7 yellow, and, like, I've only seen 1 all game. I was like, okay, I need to do something else.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go for cheap ones that I could get wilds, that, yeah.
Netters is like, don't
bring
it. I mean, it's okay to play. It's an enjoyable little puzzle, but, like, on a serious gamer note, like, there's too much randomness going on that would make it very frustrating. And for me, both times we've played, Steve's been sick. And I've been sick as well, but I take more drugs than Steve. I'm like...
Hey, I took plenty. It's just my wore off.
Yeah, I am, like, meticulous with my drug o'clocks, like, when I take drugs, because I have a history of being sick, and me being sick with a cold means I get a sinus infection, and it goes for months, and then it's just bad. So I am very, like, on it with my medications, whereas Steve is like, I don't feel great. 4 hours later, oh, I feel worse. Did you take drugs? No.
I've been good when my drug clock substance.
Yeah. So either way, the first time I played, Steve kicked my butt. And I honestly feel like my victory this time was just dependent on Steve is better at tile placement games than I am, for honest. And even when he was super sick, this is like his cold's wearing off, and he's when he was super sick, he still creamed me at this game, but I feel that was partially because of the tiles and the cards that come out. So it's cute. It's very simple to play. The theme is, like, so approachable. We could play this with basically any, like, American or anyone that knows the Gingerbread story and likes fairy tale creatures, pretty easily. But, like, for gamers, it's just too luck-based, in my opinion. And it's a shame. We really like Baron Park. Super like Baron Park. There's a card that's not a thing in here.
Which is same designer. Right?
Same designer, yep. So this is one game where, like, I was excited about it, and I know a lot of people were, but I think it's gonna fall out of the gamer circuit, potentially. But, like, people might play, like, probably enjoy playing it with their kids, or family members, or casual members.
It's a fun puzzle, and it's enjoyable. It's just your competition is really dependent on what comes out.
If we played this with our nephew, he would get so upset, because he is old enough now to understand when he loses because of random chance, and he hates that. he's gonna have a really rough older, like, adulthood and teenagedom because of that. But, like, we couldn't play this game with him because he would just get so mad when he realized, like, that situation versus mine.
Well, because he can, he
card counts.
Well, he's card counted since he was young. He's played a lot of chess. Like, he can plan many moves ahead, and probably, like, more than we do. So he would just look at it and analyze it. He'd look and see that he had, like, for example, no yellows, and that everything out there is yellows. And
he would get so
like,
frustrated.
He would have to stop. Flip. What's the point?
Yeah, we would have to stop the game because he would get so frustrated with what just happened. He wasn't able to get yellows or anything like that. So, I mean, it worked out, and I don't know. We haven't played it enough to know if, like, it'll work out. Like, in that game, I had a lot of yellows, but Steve had a lot of specials to compensate for not having yellows. So, because every one of these cages that he had meant that he could draw 3 from the top of the deck, pick what he wanted, and do it. It didn't work out well for him in the end, but it might have, right? So, it's
and that
just...
still would have only, well, you still have to capture the ones you draw, and, yeah. I think it's very much, you have to play reactively based on what you get and what comes out.
Yeah. But, so I don't want to say it's a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's not broken. It is enjoyable for what it is, but what it is more of like a lightweight, casual game. And if you're okay with random luck elements controlling your success with the game, then this is fine. If this looked interesting to you, if it looked fun for you, if it looked like something that would work for your group, go for it. You know what? Like, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I did enjoy playing it. I don't know if... Did you enjoy playing it? Yeah, every time we've played it, we've enjoyed playing it. But, like, I didn't super want to play it again. Like, I don't really want to play it again now. But if somebody wanted to play it and was super interested in it, and I liked that person, I would play it with them, for them.
I think something that, for example, characterizes Barren Park, which I think is probably a similar weight or similar complexity,
yeah,
just in terms of what you need to learn and what the rules are. Barren Park is very much a game of... There's a lot more information that's out, so you can sort of see what's ahead and plan and hedge about, am I going to be able to get this tile from the middle that I want? Am I going to be able to place the tiles that I need to cover the things that will give me the tiles which I can use to get the thing from the middle? And it's very much... You can kind of have fun planning analytically and thinking about how your turns are going to go and battling other people in the middle. And this game doesn't have that same level of intensity, and I think it's partly because of the mitigation based on the creatures that come out and your own private stack. Like, I'm not fighting Tiffany to get the blue-yellow gingerbread house tile that I want, right? Like,
but you are raising me for bonuses and characters.
I'm raising for bonuses and characters, but, like, you can't mess with my gingerbread house. Like, what you do can.
We haven't seen all the bonus cards, I will say. But, yes.
But that's what I mean, like, I feel it's less intense than something like Barren Park. Like, Barren Park, you can very much, like, cleverly shut someone down or take the tile that they need to do their bonus objective or whatever. And I really enjoy that, but I think this is maybe less intense and less cutthroat.
Yeah.
In that way that I like.
Yeah.
But this would probably play better.
It's cute. This is honestly one that, like, this holiday season, it won't come in time for the holiday season here in the US probably, unless Lookout gets their stuff together. But if it was, I could see this selling very well, and I would sell this to people because they would probably enjoy it. For the more casual crowd, that's fine. But one of the things that you can probably notice coming out of Essen is the more people talk about games that were Essen titles after Essen. It's the same with every con. This was on a lot of people's lists, and nobody's talking about it. So it's a sign. It's a sign about a lot of stuff. I mean, it's gonna take time and things like that. But, yeah, I think it's great for what it is. And what it is more of a casual, lightweight, light, medium, gateway tile placement game.
And also, like, I know bigger publishers can put the like correct age range on the box. I know like smaller publishers and will sometimes put, you know, a higher age range than the game actually supports for like kid testing and whatever. But like this actually says 8 and up on the box, and so it definitely feels like an 8 and up game. And sometimes I wonder if it's like we can be a little harsh on games that are like definitely do play like with lower ages. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely.
I think I think this is more of just it's a different type of play. We are more of the strategic, risk mitigated, you know, perfect information. We love Futuropia. Futuropia is perfect information. Literally, you know everything that you can do and every potential option at the start of that game. And we love it. This is very much not that. And that's just kind of who we are as gamers. And so it's one of those things where it's like, this is a fun game. We enjoy playing it. It's just not something that we're super keen on. As there was a question on if it's a shelf game, it's not a shelf game. I am going to try and sell it. Probably not after this stream because I'm going to go to sleep. But tomorrow I will probably sell this game. Because the reality is that coming out of SM, this is going to be kind of hot. People are going to want it. And we have a very small window of time until people figure out if it's good or bad. I think it's good. It's just not for us.
Yeah, someone else will enjoy it more than we will, and will play it more than we will.
Yeah. So, there's that. As for Barren Park, they did 2 print runs. They're still out of the second print run, but they're working on an expansion. So, there should be a new print run of Barren Park when the expansion hits. So there's that. So yeah, I don't know if there was a misprint on Barren Park. I don't remember one. Okay. Do you have anything else?
I just, I like the theme and the fairy tale theming and the art, and I think it's all gorgeous and well done, and I think it would totally, like...
If we didn't have a bajillion games, we are at the stage where we are like, we've bought too many games to give to people for Christmas. We do this every year.
Yeah.
So we have to like, but otherwise, I would be like, let's take this down and play this with people this Christmas season, because it's so appropriate and they would love it. But we have so many other things that we've already bought and plan to bring, so it just doesn't make sense.
Like, our nieces would get a kick out of this.
Oh, our nieces would love it.
Like, just with the art and the characters, and they would understand the tiles and the, like, light economy of it and the capturing.
Our sister-in-law, our really good friends down in California that we go and stay out and hang out with would really dig this. They're more casual gamers. They're also new parents. Well, they've been parents for a while, but they both have new babies, and so they would love this because you could play this while hanging out with a baby in your arms. So, yeah. There we go. Sell it to netters. How's this with 2 or Zaya?
Oh, Zaya.
Zaya, we enjoy it. We played it 2 nights in a row, so that says something. We've only played it twice. I like Zaya. It is a candidate for a F it, let's stream something we just like game. It's just long, so it's one we have to like be set up for.
Yep, I'm waiting for the Missions and Powers expansion to arrive sometime this month or next month. I forget what the last Kickstarter update was. But I'm excited because there's an extra power for every ship in the game, and when you get a ship, you can choose which power you want. So I'm kind of super excited about that. So I have a feeling because of all the Essen games, we probably won't stream it until after, at least after that expansion.
It's probably
it's a mini expansion.
February or January. Yeah.
Maybe like December. You go to California early. I'll just put that.
Yeah. Did you all pick up fewer, as many, or more games than you intended at Essen? We were within budget. It's weird. We actually don't... So, when we go to Essen, I have a mental limit of games, and that limit is how much I can fit in our suitcases. And if it's worth it for us to pay for extra checked luggage. And the first year Steve came with me to Essen, we paid for 2 extra checked bags. So we were at our luggage maximum. So we brought back 8 bags. The next year that Steve came with me to Essen, we brought back 7 bags. So we paid for 1 check bag. This year, I was not impressed by anything enough to go overboard, and so we actually were within our luggage limit. We had 6 bags, and I even we had 6 bags. If I had my druthers, I wish we would have had 5 bags. So there's that. But we were night netters. We were it's really hard for me to set a limit. We have a budget going into Essen on how much fiscally, financially I can spend on games. We have a luggage limit on how much we can bring back. And even then we can ship if it's worth it. And then we have a mental capacity limit on how much is reasonable in regards to streaming or content creation or anything like that. And it comes down to it where it's if it's worth it, we'll make it work. And this year we had not a lot of worth it. My list as far as games that I knew we were gonna get because it would be good content and or we were interested in it. The list this year was the list I went into Essen with was 53 titles long, and we ended up not picking up, I think, 5? No, we ended up not picking up 7 titles on that list because we demoed them and decided that it wasn't worth it. Or once we got there, I saw them and was like, no. So yeah. But that list doesn't include, for sure things necessarily. There was some other stuff that we picked up that I knew we were picking up that wasn't on that list. It's weird. It's weird. It's hard for me to explain to Steve, so it's hard for me to explain to anyone. But, yeah. You know? Speaking of things that we brought back from Essen, my haul video went live today. So, I actually recorded a haul video this year. I always feel weird doing them. But I went through everything that we brought back from Essen that wasn't our dirty clothes and or foods. So anything that we acquired while we were in Europe and brought it home with us is in that video. So you can see what we brought back. It's actually a 2-parter, and part 1 went live today. It's on the YouTube channel, so you can go and watch that. Part 2 will go live on Thursday, unless you're a Patreon supporter, in which case you have access to it now. No one's actually watched it, because I don't know if people realize that, but there's a link in the Patreon post about the haul video, and that link is clickable, and it goes to the second haul video. So, there's that, if you're a Patreon supporter and you don't want to wait. But yeah, so you can watch that. I'm also editing a video about how I pack for Essen, because people are interested in that. So yeah. Does that mean that despite the huge amount of games, things seemed less interesting this year? Yes. Overall, things were less interesting this year at Essen, and a lot of us felt that way. A lot of content creators, because we all hang out at the show and we say hi and we play games together, because we all know we have this huge queue. So it's every time we're together, it's play games. What do you think of this game? Give me the digest, etc. And across the board, none of us were super blown away by anything. The things that came out of that were Crown of Amara was a surprise sleeper hit, but maybe not, depending on player things. Blackout Hong Kong is great. The theme is super weird and is weird. And so that's kind of turning some people off. It's also kind of convoluted rulebook, a little heavy. It's a fister, right? So it's going to take some time to learn. But play-wise, it's great. And everybody that's played it has said it's fantastic. It's an evolved Mombasa. So there's that. Teotihuacans is, everybody knows it's very good. So there's not really any surprise out of that. It's kind of yeah, okay.
City of Rome was one that we liked. And one of the things that pointed you to it, because I think it almost made your list, was it was the top of one of the German gaming lists
Yeah.
at the show?
It was already on my list. It was already on my list to go and play, but every time we tried to go get a demo of City of Rome, they were just always packed. Yeah. And we even stood and waited for like 20 minutes one day, and like we just couldn't get in on a game. And so I was kind of like, yeah, okay. But then it was consistently on top of the Fair Play, like, top games list, which is the German equivalent of BGG. And so I was like, okay, we have to go. So we prioritized it one day, and we went first thing in the morning and got a table and played it, and we were like, yeah, no, this is good. So we picked it up. So we'll have more conversations about that later. Steve's wiped out. I'm really tired. So we're gonna go to bed. I do not play Arkham Horror, so I don't know the gangster from Arkham Horror would be. I've never actually played Arkham Horror ever. Not a big Cthulhu fan. Or Lovecraft. So, sorry. I've gotten a couple DMs about the squeaky floor, like how to fix it, and I'm super excited. So I'm gonna go to Home Depot or like order some stuff to see if I can fix it. Makes me so happy. Because it was a joke, but like people are like, no, try this, and they're like linking me things that I hadn't found on the internet. So that makes me happy. Isn't it also
squeaky close to where they just completely removed a joist to put in a heater vent?
Yes. So the reason why it's super bad in that section is because somebody, when they installed central heating in this house, they were just like, well, this main intake vent needs to go here. Let's just cut this floor joist.
It's not used for anything.
Yeah, it's not being used for anything. So there's a section of the floor that doesn't actually have a floor joist supporting it right there. And that's part of why the squeaking is bad. So, yeah. Okay. We're gonna go sleep. If you haven't seen the haul video, it's live on YouTube now. If you are interested in seeing haul 2 and also like our content and want to support us, because SN is exhausting and a lot of content has come out of SN already and it's going to continue to coming out. Because this is basically my job now, is to make content again, which makes me very happy. We'll see how long it lasts. Go and support me on Patreon, patreon.com/thewintar. There's a link down below in the doobly-doo. Super awesome. It buys us cold medicine. Otherwise, and games. It goes to buying games. Before every con, I empty out the Patreon account and we use that for games. In addition to equipment for streams and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's where that money goes. We don't touch it until we need it for things. Okay. On that delightful note, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, make sure you subscribe. And if you're watching live, thank you very much for hanging out with us in chat. This has been a great comeback to streaming thing, which is great. Oh, man. When they remove a wall and it's load bearing, that sucks. We had that in our house, too. Grizzly. Anyway, go watch my dream home review, and you can see me rant about the house. It's great. The first 40 seconds is me just trying to fix a problem involving a load bearing wall.
Real life is not fixer upper, or real life is fixer upper, but on fixer upper they actually make it structurally sound. You can't just take things out and just kind of hope it'll be fine.
Yep.
Or you can, it just takes about 10 years.
Yep.
All right. Just do that and then sell the house, I guess.
If you're watching this in the future, thank you for hanging out this long. I hope this video was enjoyable to you. If you'd like to see more, like I said, subscribe. Otherwise, you should try and hang out with us on chat. Our streams are mostly in the evening, but Steve is taking vacation for all of the week of Thanksgiving, and so I'm going to try and convince him to do some daytime streams while people are avoiding their families. Because we're going to be avoiding our families here. So, yeah. All right. We're going to go.
What's that you said about a Zaya stream?
Maybe. We could just do a Thanksgiving. That's it. We're not doing anything for Thanksgiving except for play Zaya. Just a 20-point game.
Thanks, Zaya.
Of a Zaya. Thanks, Zaya. Yep. All right.
Hashtag.
Good night, everyone. All right. Bye.